Abigail is in theaters right now, guys, and I gotta say that it is a good movie, man. It's a good theatrical experience. It's from the guys who did Scream 5 and 6. They're called Radio Silence, and it's about a vampire girl. If you saw the trailers, it's revealed in the trailers. The synopsis reads, after a group of criminals kidnap the ballerina daughter of a powerful underworld figure, they retreat to an isolated mansion, unaware that they're locked inside with no normal little girl. And all of that's revealed in the trailer, guys. Melissa Barrera, Dan Stevens, Alisha Weir does a fantastic job as Abigail. I'll talk about her in length in a little bit, but it's got a great supporting cast with Kathryn Newton, Kevin Durand, Giancarlo Esposito, and William Catlett. They're the kind of the crew that do the kidnapping, and on the surface of it, it seems like it would be rather cheeky, things that we've seen before, because this is the team that did bring us Ready or Not, about like a bride that gets invited to a home and then she's got to compete and fight for her life kind of thing. So it's kind of like shades of that mixed in with Let the Right One In, because it's a vampire girl. And if you like that tone, just know that what I said in my initial out of the theater reaction is that Radio Silence, the directors, they know their horror genre. And that pays off in the script. That pays off in the character development. It's not revealed that they've kidnapped the vampire girl into like 55 minutes into the film. And that would normally be a bad thing, like a terrible thing, because we know that it's going to be about a vampire girl. So just get to it already, right? That kind of mentality. But it's so well crafted that you want to see the banter between this crew. Because of the actors are doing such a great job with it. Dan Stevens here, he's playing, and it's cool to see him just like stretch his muscles, because you know that his acting muscles, you know that he's got like this rather thick British accent, right? And it's got like he does a good job, man. And then of course the standout is Melissa Barrera. She's kind of like our protagonist that we follow. And then the young girl Abigail. Abigail, when she starts to come out and do all of her dancing around, it's menacing, man. It's menacing, and I just left the theater with this big smile on my face, going, "Holy, yeah, that I didn't know if I would like it, but I did," because for all the things that you would have like apprehensions about, kind of like, well, that's just a tired story trope that we've seen before. This isn't really working. No, they make it work because the dialogue and because the character development and the pacing. The pacing is tight, man. It moves fast, which is good. Um, and at points there was one point in here where I was like, okay, now this is just stupid. This is really stupid. You got kind of like the upper hand now, and they give you a good reason to why they're not going to do the logical thing in that situation. That's how well crafted the story is. So you have these concerns watching it, but then when it unravels and things start to go awry and they really go off the rails, you're like, okay, I'm okay with this. Does it wrap up a little bit hokey towards the end? Maybe that could be one major kind of criticism that somebody could have, but it's so minor. That would be like a minor nitpick that would get washed away by how good the rest of the film is. So let's pull up my early score sheet and let's put in some numbers here. For Abigail, acting, directing, and story are out of a possible 2 points each. Cinematography and score are 1 point each. So acting. There's nothing in here that says Oscar worthy, but collectively 1.5 is where I want to start, and I could maybe bump that up to 2. I could. And the directing, great directing duo team here. And as I said, the pacing is tight. The cinematography is good. The use of needle drops in this score is also really good. And then just the dialogue, it's punchy, it's fun, it's quippy. It's like the top. Remember how dialogue used to be in the MCU when it used to be like that edgy kind of like, yeah, they're being funny in a serious situation. It's like that. It's not like Thor: Love and Thunder. Story. Fairly simple, straightforward story. It does have some twists and turns that it tries to make towards the end. And at the end, I felt rather satisfied. So I'm going to give 1.5 across the board there. Cinematography is competent. I'm not going to give it a full point because at points it is a dark film, and I don't mean dark in its subject matter. I mean like darkly lit. Like if you watch the trailers online on YouTube, you could tell there. Like for my straight out of the theater reaction, I had to brighten the footage because it's just so dark. So that may not be appealing to some people. It worked for me. It worked for me. But the score was really good. Uh, I'm going to give a score a full a full point here um, because it's worthy. It's totally worthy. So that's putting us around a 6.10 for now. Let's go over to the Rotten Tomato meter and see what people are saying about Abigail as of 10:40 in the morning on Friday. Abigail, 83% by critics. No audience score yet, but I'm thinking that the audience is going to be high up there too. It's just going to be like okay, if you like horror, this is going to be like your bread and butter. Is be like this is what horror should be the standard for like theatrical horror movies, right? Let's see what some of the snapshot reviews are now. Rotten Tomatoes recently retooled their website, so it's kind of like we have to roll with the punches here. I don't like the new layout for Rotten Tomatoes, but let's just see what we got here. Let's see, Digital Spy, Football One Mania. Well, a lot of people that didn't really like it, huh? Okay, Boston Hassle, Abigail, who, while lacking some of the punch of Ready or Not, feels much more like a successor to that film than either of the team's last two. It's good to have them back. Well, I don't know about that. That seems kind of weird. Screen International, top critic. Here we go. Directors Matt Bettinelli Open and Tyler Gillette bring a crowd-pleasing energy to this gruesome, slyly funny mix of genres. Although an overly complicated story and underwhelming characters drains some life out of the proceedings. Really? No, I thought Kevin Durant, if you know him from like The Strain and stuff like that, he's always like that kind of, even like Lost. He's a little bit like the character from Lost, where he's the muscle. But he plays it in a different kind of way, and I liked it, man. I dug it. So a lot of people did. Mad Wolf says it's fun though. And when it decides to finally get bloody, it may not leave a lasting impression, but it definitely makes a mess. Yeah, it definitely is. New York Times, a horror flick that's serviceable enough to make you occasionally giggle or flinch, yet it's also so aggressively unambitious that it scarily seems worth griping about. Well, okay, that is a good criticism, and I want to address that because I sort of talked about that. It's aggressively unambitious. And that goes to what I was saying a little bit about, uh, it takes like a good hour to get to the point where, okay, the crew finds out that she's a vampire. It does take a bit of time to get there. But as I said, I like the crew and I like to see them interact with each other, trying to do some, jousting to figure out who can we trust or that kind of thing. So there was like a little bit of paranoia stuff in there that worked for me. But it didn't work for everybody else. For a lot of people, Variety. Wait a minute, Variety gets 2 reviews. See again, see this is a glitch in Rotten Tomatoes. You don't have to constantly reinvent your website, Rotten Tomatoes. Oi, Variety. Dracula, among other things, is the most metaphorical character in horror film history, and I guess his daughter could be too, but not in a film that turns bloodsucking into a form of professional wrestling. Well, if you know the trailer, I don't know what did you think you were signing up for? Jeremy Johns trusted. There we go. Uh, Fellow vampire fans, rejoice! This absolute blast of a film was made for you, and that's what I want to try to echo and champion as well. Good, well said, Jeremy. Well said. All right. Do we want to find Matt Donato? Grace Randolph liked it. If you care what she says, William Bibbiani liked it. Sharply combines multiple genres and tropes, a few of which are on actual surprise and scripts them into bloody blast of a movie. Yeah, it had shades of like Cabin in the Woods, if you like that kind of flavor. It's like it's like that, guys. Uh, and I like Cabin in the Woods. That was a lot of fun. Okay, Donato, let's see, where are you at, man? Where are you at? Did you not post yours yet? Okay, yeah, he did. Matt Donato. Uh, it's stupendously gory, devilishly funny, and boasts all the trademarks of an excellent popcorn movie. Exactly. Yeah, you just want to sit there in the theater with your bag of popcorn and go, okay, okay. Um, Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. Yeah, that kind of thing. Does it try to reinvent the lore of vampirism? Maybe just a touch. Uh, it kind of pokes fun at itself as to, well, what kind of vampire are you? Are you one that is affected by garlic, or that it has fun with it? And that's what you want from a horror movie about a small vampire girl taking out a bunch of kidnappers. It's kind of like, do you want any of them to survive? Do you? Do you really? Or do you want to see her just like wreak havoc? And that's what you get with Abigail. And 86% by the critics, huh? Well, or 83 by the critics so far. Let's wrap up my score sheet here and my watchability factor. So, if you like the trailers, you like the premise, it's worth checking out. It's definitely worth checking out in the theater because, as I said, it's dark. But at least when you're in the theater and everything else around you is dark, uh, then it's no big issue. I would say watch it with a crowd, and it would be totally something I would revisit. Totally, 7.5 for Abigail. But do I want to give it any more? Where would I give it? And I think I am going to boost that acting up to 2 points. Give myself an 8 out of 10. And that's where I'm feeling good about this, guys. Yeah. And I might even say that I could put this in my catalog and bump up the watchability right to 2 points and give it an 8.5. It's just a pleasant surprise. It's a nice little, oh, this is a cool little thing that came out here in the midst of April. Abigail, 8 out of 10. Are you guys interested in going seeing it? Did you watch my straight out of the theater reaction? Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Hey, if you like this kind of thing, you like to talk about movies and watch series, come join us here on Mirror Domains, because we do full series reactions for things like Fallout. We just got a news that there's going to be a Fallout Season 2, so that's awesome. We're going to wrap up Reacher Season 2 today. And of course, then, yeah, my movie review will be chopped up and put up on the channel later on. But we got movie reviews for Civil War, The First Omen, Monkey Man, trailer reactions for Maxine and Joker 2, full movie reactions for Roadhouse. We haven't done a full movie reaction in a little while since Roadhouse. But of course, then we do movie news throughout the week where we talk about all the big trending movie news headlines of the day. So, hey, if this is your bag, come join us here. We publish lots of shorts, lots of opportunities for you guys, the fans out there, to interact with me and have your input. All right, that's it. If you like what you've seen, hit that thumbs up button and subscribe. Ooh, I haven't said that in a while, have I? Okay, let's pull up some live comments here. Whoops. That's not the live comments, James. That's live comments. I enjoyed it. Give it a 5 thumbs up, James. Yeah. Chris Schober says, I watched this movie. It's a pretty interesting film. It's a pretty violent movie, though, and bloody fun. Yeah, it is violent.